Josh and Frankie. What a couple of dumb shits.
Hello, primates! You found Primus Tracks. Congratulations. This is a special episode of Primus Tracks. Now, I'm saying that as if they're not all special. This one is super special. It all starts with me. I make it special. My name's Josh, and I'm one of the hosts of Primus Tracks. He is on the 39th floor of Primus Tracks Towers. He also makes a podcast special. Frankie Bearstein.
Hey, Josh.
Welcome back yet again, Frankie. Not jumped out of any of these over the years. Congratulations. By the way, do the windows on the 39th floor of Primus Tracks Towers open?
They do.
That's risky. I don't know who chose that design. There's no danger today because we have a very special episode today. We are talking about a legendary show that we need to dissect, and so I'm handing out tabs to everybody. And this is one of the longest shows on record in the Les Claypool Primus history. Well, that is a lot of heavy lifting, so we have brought in a heavy who can do the heavy lifting for us. You know him from his wonderful site, toasterland.com. And if you like streaming Primus shows and recordings, audience recordings of Primus shows, he's your friend as well as ours. Toaster, welcome to Primus Tracks.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, long overdue. As Frankie said earlier, we've crossed paths numerous times over the years, and it just felt right to bring you in for this LSD discussion for the Frog Brigade, May 4, 2003, Tipitinas in New Orleans, Louisiana. As I understand it, you were there.
I was there.
And
for all 3.5 hours of it.
And it went pretty late, I understand.
I believe it went from about 1 till 4:30 in the morning, if I remember correctly.
How did you get back home, Toaster?
I drove straight back after the show ended. I was newly employed at my current job, and I had no vacation time, so we just hauled it back. And I don't even think I had to take off like more than 1 day to do it.
And to clarify, when you say you drove home, you didn't drive to the other side of New Orleans. You didn't even drive to the other side of the state. You drove to New York State.
Yeah, back to Western New York. Probably 18, 20 hours. I don't remember what it took, but...
You were on your feet for this Frog Brigade show, recording it, enjoying it, and then at 4:30 in the morning, it ends. You go to your vehicle and start an 18-hour drive home.
Essentially, yes, that's what happened. And that's not counting the C2B3 Ween show the night before at the State Palace Theater, and then the late-night Buckethead show at Howlin' Wolf that also went from like 2 to 4 in the morning. So there was very little sleep being had, but
how are you even alive?
Yeah, I don't know. There was 3 of us and we drove straight through and back. Totally worth it.
The energy of youth is a hell of a thing.
It is. I could not pull off that kind of feat again, I don't think.
I have to say the early aughts were that time for me as well. We're about the same age, I think. And when I see a date from the early aughts, I think, oh yeah, I stayed up all night that night and did a bunch of crazy, stupid things and then went to work the next morning like it was nothing.
Yeah. Yep. I have plenty of those stories.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with Toaster, pause this podcast, go over to toasterland.com. You probably won't come back to this episode because you're going to find all kinds of shows to stream. Of course, it's not just for streaming recordings of Primus and Les Claypool shows. It's a repository, man, of all kinds of great information. And I know I've thanked you over the years, but how about a public thank you for what you've put together over there? It's massive.
Thank you for endless days of entertainment, Toaster, and for bringing to light recordings that otherwise we would never have heard. I was just blown away the day I discovered the site and I just started streaming live versions of the most obscure songs I could imagine that never made it to official releases. And I've never looked back. Toaster is saved on my favorites, and I'm there daily.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have now been told multiple times recently that so and so grew up on Toasterland. My dad burned me CDs from Toasterland. It's kind of surreal to think it's been around as long as it has. I think it's been around like 23 or 24 years at this point.
Jeez.
So I think I added like the streaming aspect of it in like the late 2000s, early 2010s or so. And then it's just kind of been running itself. I definitely could not program it again if I tried to today. So my coding skills are very rusty at this point, but it still works. So I'll continue to update it.
Right on, man.
Speaking of long overdue, I registered today and finally added my statistics.
Nice. What are you up to?
So if I look at my statistics, give me 1 second.
Okay, so you've seen 20 shows. Very respectable.
Yeah. Not bad for a guy that has to travel internationally to see most of them.
Right, exactly.
There are plenty of things on this list that I'm very proud of, like Frankenstein, Hats Off, and Electric Funeral, and most recently Antipop. I mean,
Definitely caught a good assortment there. And the Claypool Gold that I saw you guys at, that was incredible for set list or song statistic purposes. So
I did have a good time adding those two shows and then looking at the update and going, all right.
And Soya,
check.
Soya told that to Liz because he told us that Liz was kind of worried about the outcome. But Soya said fans collect songs as if they were trading cards, no, or baseball cards.
Great quote.
So, yeah, we were freaking out with those set lists. When Les himself asked me what I thought about the show, I just said, dude, rest in bones. Period.
Period. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. That actually wasn't Les. That was me in a Les costume. I was just humoring Frankie.
The funny thing about that Rest in Bones, I think after that show, more have been unearthed than were previously known to have been played back in '97. Since that show happened at New Year's, like more tapes have come out, and we're like, hey, wait, they played this more than we originally thought.
Yes.
I thought it was only like a one verse thing in the middle of Puppies, but no, there was actually like 6 or 7.
Yeah, there were a few full ones, and it's fantastic that they were unearthed. Which reminds me that we were standing around the venue on New Year's Eve. Toaster was hanging out with his pals, but he was immersed in his conversation, and I was having a conversation with someone else, and I brought up Camelback Cinema, and I said, yeah, imagine if they pull out Camelback Cinema tonight, which has only been played twice in the entire live history of Primus, and then Toaster was like, where was it played? Yeah. So
I think I said, show me the tape. Show me the tape.
Yeah.
And then you did like a month later. You got it. So
That's good. That's good taper talk. I like that. Give me the dates.
give me the tape. Give me the date. I want to know. Because a lot of that back, like when I started Toasterland, that was like a lot of the reason I started it was just to keep track of like the tapes that were out there, because a lot of them like had European date format and they were getting miscategorized on people's tape lists. So it was kind of like, well, let's get like a proper DB out there where we could actually track some of this stuff. And now it's turned into complete mayhem.
Yeah, is it something? I'm sure at the outset it took a lot of your time. I'm sure it's streamlined now and it's fairly easy to maintain.
Yeah, there's not too much to it from my perspective to like update it and whatnot. It's just a MySQL backend, and I just add another row and it auto populates. Like once a year, I have to go in there and just kind of edit the menu to add another year if like this band happened to perform that year or something, but very minimal updating. It's more just scrutinizing the set lists and making sure that people aren't improperly like notating teases and stuff like that. And there's a certain threshold where we'll call it a tease versus like a partial.
So if you get a few bars of it, it's obviously a tease, right? But is there a time cutoff? So if it's like 45 seconds of something, now it's a partial?
Probably something around 45 seconds to a minute. Like okay. I know like when they Primus started originally doing like polka dot rose during groundhogs, like I'd put that as a tease. And then once he added the verse, I was like, okay, that's kind of a partial now. And so like now you'll see it notated as a partial because it's added the verse. So
The next level, Toaster, is when we include things like notations like DMV less cheated on this performance. He did not perform the riff while he was singing.
he had to concentrate too hard on
Yeah.
the riff. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Now I have to go back. Has that happened in DMV? I have to like go back and listen now.
he played a simplified one or version of it on the Pork Soda New Year's. But
Okay.
yeah. You are the arbiter. You get to choose whether that is documented one way or another.
That is true.
The one that always stuck with me was Seas of Cheese, because there's Les doing it solo, and then there's the Fromage version, and of course they've done both over the years. So I know when I've sent you set list, I have delineated whether it was the Fromage Seas or regular Seas, but I don't know that you have it cataloged.
I don't have
either
it.
way.
I don't have
Okay.
that catalog. So what was it? 2006 Fancy, when he started doing like Too Many Puppies on banjo, and I think there was like an American Life on banjo. Like I started putting parenthesis banjo, so those get categorized for song statistical purposes separately. And then
There are also the bizarro versions of Too Many Puppies that he was doing in '98.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. There's Too Many Puppies, which is standard puppies. Then in '98 there's Rhino Puppies.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
there's
then
there's also
I name it Rhino
Upright.
Puppies, and then there's New Puppies, which is like a 2011 or 12. Like they played some weird version of Puppies like twice.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I called that
there's
New
also an
Puppies.
upright. There's an upright version of Puppies. I think it was only played once.
Was that part of the Yellow Sock stuff?
No, it was not Yellow Sock. It was actually a regular show, and they did an upright Puppies. And that reminds me that there's a really, really strange performance of John the Fisherman on the Night Break 1990. You know, that night when they were doing, like, Jerry was a race car driver, not for the first time, but one of the first times ever, and Fish on the tune bass prior to the Rainbow. That night they did this really bizarre version of John the Fisherman. You have to go back and listen to that one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that particular John. I remember those early fish-ons without the outro.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
and Jerry without the break, going
Yeah.
straight from the chorus into the guitar solo.
I see why you don't delineate too much, because what a pain to have.
it is a pain, but like for the puppies thing, like that, those are a distinct version. That's like you like it and bastardizing you like it. Like there's definitely different. Like Duchess, there's one Duchess that's on upright. Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Variety Playhouse, something like that. 2008, I was there. It was the first day they brought back Duchess since like 98 or 99, whenever time it was played last. They played it with the Paulo, Mike D, Skerrick, Les lineup. And then the next night they busted out Fisticuffs, and then Duchess switched back to the 4-string after that. But there's a single Duchess upright version that got played.
If you go through Hallucinogenics recordings, you might spot Puppies that goes over 8 minutes, I guess. And it's because for one time only, they did a partial Torture Never Stops in the middle of it.
Oh, at Radio City. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that one. I was not at that hallucinogenic show, but I remember that version. Josh, you were at the Aragon show, right? In 04?
I was not in 04. 03,
Okay.
yes, but not. I didn't see Hallucinogenetics.
Okay. I saw the hallucinogenics show. I think that was the last time I was at the Aragon, actually.
They've scaled up, I think, since then, right? They're playing big
Yeah.
boy venues now. Well, let's talk about our big 3.5 hour block of audio. We're not going to listen to the entire thing, obviously. I know Frankie wants to. It's great of you, of course, to share your recording via Toasterland. Give us a bit of insight on that night. Clearly, they were having a good time playing from 1 a.m. to 4:30 in the morning. Just to run down the set list for those of you who are not looking at it on Toasterland right now, as I am. Shine On You Crazy Diamond was the opening track. David McAllister won. Long in the Tooth, Precipitation. I'm not going to mention all the sit-ins and whatnot because there's too many right now. Wynona's Big Brown Beaver, Up on the Roof, Highball with the Devil, Drums. There's a Jerry Tease, Back into Highball, and a bunch of other stuff. Buzzards of Green Hill, Intruder, 2,000 Light Years from Home into all kinds of stuff. Dee's Diner, Granny's Little Yard Gnome, Lights in the Sky, Taxman, Whamola.
And during rehearsals, they went through Georgie Porgy twice, but that didn't make the show.
Well, you know, they had a limited time frame that night.
Yeah.
We only got 3.5 hours.
We have Les Claypool, Enor, Skerrick, Mike Dillon, and Paul Baldi. That was the lineup for this incredible show in New Orleans, May 4, 2003, Tipitina. So yeah, those are the statistics.
Yeah.
I like to refer to this show as the Mammoth. That's what I call it.
That it is. That it is.
Yeah. 3 hours, 30 minutes. And there's just something really unique about those shows. It makes you wonder if it was something in the air that night, if they were just feeling each other really well, if it was the audience. Who knows why they decided to perform the longest show of their career on a particular night. Bruce Springsteen has played 4-hour shows. Pixies played a 4-hour show as well once. David Bowie's longest concert ever was at the Chili Pepper in Florida in 1997. He performed 36 songs for 4 hours as well. He basically went through his entire live repertoire for that tour, except for one song, because he forgot that it was part of the set list, not because they ran out of time. The Cure performed their longest show ever in Mexico City, actually, back in 2013. It was also a 4-hour show. It's really amazing how maybe once in their career, bands feel compelled to do these crazy marathon runs. And it's really incredible that Les did a 3-hour, 30-minute show where he manages to keep you on the edge during the entire show. I've played this show over and over, and I've never gotten bored, and I'm still discovering things in these performances every time I go back to the show. It's just crazy how much stuff they crammed in there. You went through the list of songs. It doesn't sound like a lot of songs for 3 hours and 30 minutes, but they did stretch some of those songs in a really crazy way. Lights in the Sky, I think, is almost 20 minutes long.
Yeah, I think it's like 18. Not to fact check too much here, but May 5th, 2002 is longer. It's 4 hours. It's 4 hours.
Just by 30 minutes.
Just by 30 minutes. And then I think the next longest is 8:10:03, which is 3 hours. I was at 8:10:03. I was not at 5:05:02. But 5:05:02 was the original Tipitina's late night. And we had kind of an idea that they would do the same thing again. And I mean, in addition to seeing C2B3 again, was the draw to bring us down there, just because we figured something crazy was going to happen at the late night show.
Wow. And then, so on this night, May 4th, 2003, that is, so you had an inclination. They just kept playing, or was there any stated goal by Les? Because the
stated goal was we're going to play till sunup. I think it was dawn when we opened the door, I think, from what I remember from like leaving New Orleans that morning.
We stopped playing at first light. That's funny.
Yeah, back then we could bring in mic stands, and I was crammed in up front, like probably second or third row. We were really close.
I'm looking at the set list of 2002 now that you brought it up, and it's remarkable how Les managed not to repeat tracks 1 year later, because there are some songs that were unique to that 2002 show, like Holy Mackerel and Telegon Gingit, Running the Gauntlet. I've heard the show because I've gone over every single show on Toaster, so I've heard this one. But for me, 2003 is the keeper. There's just something extra special about that show, I think. But this one looks really incredible as well.
Toaster, is this 2003 Tipitina's one you go back to? I wonder how often you listen to these recordings after all these years
I have
anyway.
I have listened back to 81003 quite a bit. I have listened to Tipitina's probably half the amount of time as I've listened to 810. 810 to me, well, it was Kehoe was back by then. And I by that point, Enor's contributions by like spring '03 were starting to get less and less. Like you could kind of see him phasing out of the band, kind of. Like as a fan, you could kind of tell that he wasn't getting picked for solos and wasn't really like putting forth what he did like a couple years before. And then Kehoe was like the breath of fresh air again in Frog Brigade. And I think there was like a How Many More Times jam during 2000 Light Years, if I'm not mistaken, on the 810 show. The cool thing about the 5403, I saw either 9 or 10 shows on the Purple Onion tour, and I was trying to catch Taxman. I don't know why that of all songs. I had not seen Taxman like the year before or in 2000 with Jay, and they were playing it in fall '02. They played it a few times, but it was like every show I didn't go to. So I was like chasing that song, and then I got it at 5403. It was like, I think it was like the second, was it the finale of the second set? Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was like that was like a nice sigh of relief there.
Oh yeah, because
I
around
was
then
like-
it's like 4 a.m. and you're like, I don't know, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and then 2000 Light Years, sometimes you get that mistaken. Like it kind of starts off similar. And I was very happy that I finally got my Taxman. That was my one goal that tour, and I got it.
Ever since I discovered this show, Toaster, I've been extremely curious. Who recorded this concert? How did they get it to sound so good? How did they get to record the whole thing?
For one on my website, I taped it
Amazing.
because I mean back then we could bring in mic stands.
So you had the mic stands at the front,
Yeah,
and that's why it sounds so crisp and so
that's
clear.
why it sounds so crisp. That's why Skerrick is like panned off hard to the right. Like it's a very nice like mix. Like you can tell the instrument separation and everything. Like Skerrick, you can actually hear Skerrick when he does like some of his effects. You can actually hear his raw sax through the air still over the top
Wow.
of the effects. I put this on earlier and I picked that up.
See
trying to-
that's why people like Toaster are so invaluable for the community. I mean, if I go to a show, I'm not taping shit. I want to enjoy the show. Yeah, they could be busting out Candlelight Cinema, and I'm not recording it. I'm going to be there in the moment. So, thank you, Toaster, for being the one that documents all of these incredible performances.
You're welcome. I'm
Yeah.
glad I've been doing it so long that other people find it useful.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind
man.
of wild.
Let's sample a bit of this show here, and for those of you listening, if you have a 3.5 hour block, sit back, enjoy, take it all in one listen. That'd be my dare to you, just like so many people did that night. Start with a little bit of "Shine On You Crazy Diamond." Yeah, I'm hearing that sax way over here. So my question is Shine On a pretty rare opener? Because it has such an air of finality to it. It's interesting to open a show with it.
I'm pretty sure it made a few openers, but it's more of a second set or end of show slash encore. Um, there was actually a good quote in the 81003. That's the show where Les announced Primus coming back. And before Shine On, there's some banter where he mentions, like, I was trying to think of what to play, and this song kind of sums up like Frog Brigade. And then it was Shine On. So
Works for me. Yeah, that recording sounds great. Right there with your mic stands. That's cool, man. Let's move. So then they play David McAllister and Long in the Tooth, and then we get Precipitation with Mike Gordon. Interesting. By the way, this is a 10.5-minute Precipitation. I would imagine most of these tracks, because this is a 3.5-hour show, most of these tracks got their longest performances ever on this night. Many of them, at any rate.
Or close to, because I'm sure Toaster is aware of this, but there's a Jam Cruise show with the Fancy Band where they actually stretch some songs up to 30 minutes. Do you know which one I'm referring to?
I believe it's '05, if I'm not mistaken. It's not
It's just
where they...
it's a 10-track show. It has Thai Noodles, Whales and Woe, all the standards, but each song is over 15 or 20 minutes long.
Yeah, that's 17 and 1805, I believe
Yeah.
you're talking
Wow.
about. It's like they play Maggot Brain and Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, but it's like not the music, it's not quite the music for Another Brick in the Wall. It's kind of like their own
Interesting.
version of it. That I'm pretty sure that's the one you're talking about. Even Poke Your Eye Out is 11 minutes.
Fancy Band, 2006,
Okay, so
January 10. The show opens with a 30-minute version of Highball with the Devil, then goes into a 12-minute version of Riddles, 18.5-minute version of Phantom Patriots, Long in the Tooth, Precipitation goes on for 15 minutes, One Better for 20. Then you have a 14-minute drum solo, Buzzards of Green Hill for 14 minutes, a 6.5-minute version of Thai Noodles, and it closes with an 11-minute version of Holy Mackerel.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Lovely.
that after starting with Enor era, but really like when Kehoe joined the band, they got way more psychedelic and out there jams. And I think that just kind of continued on, especially when Jay entered.
All right, let's move. Let's hear some of this Precipitation with Mike Gordon. I'm pretty sure I've never listened to this all the way through. This is great. Toaster, you a Fish guy? So how did that strike you when Mike Gordon joined?
I loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
he put his own like instrumentation on it and added his own bass line and kept it up. So I was happy with it. I mean, I think he said in one more song after that, didn't he do the Winonas that's not really Winonas right after it?
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, I have a video of the first set of this show.
Oh wow.
And Mike is wearing like a motorcycle helmet. I don't know, like
Awesome. That is a tiny stage too.
Yeah, Tipitina's is way small.
Wow. Now, does this video circulate at all? Or is it out there for
Not
public
that I'm
consumption?
aware of.
Okay.
I only have the first set though.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a great view.
Yeah. Fantastic recording.
Awesome.
You know, that's not how I imagined the show looked like.
That is how you imagined, or no?
It's not how I imagined it looked like.
That's awesome. Looks great.
Well, that's what that looks like.
Thanks for sharing that, by the way. That's really good video.
Yeah,
too.
thank you, Pat. What a privilege to get a glimpse of that footage.
Yeah. Speaking of Mike Gordon, let's hear a portion of this 11-minute version of Wynona's Big Brown Beaver that is not Wynona's Big Brown Beaver. Clearly not. No, rad. So it occurs to me that in 2003, obviously this is May 2003, so Primus is just around the corner in the chronology. But he hadn't really touched a lot of Primus stuff. There was some with the Frog Brigade shows, but he hadn't touched Wynonna. But very rarely, I think, with the Frog Brigade, right? It's
strange because with Frog Brigade, they stuck fairly close to the Frizzle Fry version of Harold of the Rocks. They stuck fairly close to Old Diamondback Sturgeon, except that Les would play it on the upright, but it wasn't crazy different from the studio recording. But then they did this really, really peculiar version of Groundhog's Day, which I think is kind of a disco version of the song. And they also did these very strange versions of Wynonna and Jerry. So it's odd how some songs he would play per album version, and some songs he would make these crazy arrangements for them. And Wynonna, I've always thought it's something really peculiar because he was actively teasing the song with Frog Brigade, but then Fromage arrives just a little while later, and when fans were requesting the songs, he would say things like, "We're not doing that song because I fucking hate it." So it's so weird, right?
It's kind of what I recall too. I mean, but it was teased quite a bit in Frog Brigade, but
yeah,
I think it took till Beat a Dead Horse tour before he became comfortable with it again.
Came back, yeah.
And then it got played every night again. So I think that was actually my first Wynonna since my first show, which was '97. I caught it on Horde tour, and then I don't think I saw it again till '06. Wow.
So he had it on the brain, but it didn't reappear for Primus for quite some time. That's a detail I'd forgotten. And it's certainly, what we're hearing is certainly not anywhere close to the established rendition of it, which is great. Just it's one of those nights. Just take it out, do what you're gonna do. So that must have been a fun surprise for you.
Yeah, I believe that was actually the first Precipitation that had a guest as well, if I'm not mistaken. I was I was thinking about that earlier, and I looked back, and I'm pretty sure that was the first one that had a guest on it.
Who better than Mike Gordon to guest on Precipitation? He
There's a
gets
couple
it.
Trey sit-ins on Persip as well from All Good in
Oh, really?
07, 08, I think, or 08, 09.
That's got to be a tough one to sit in on because it's just so goofy. But it's also wide open, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, Trey does some like atonal soloing over it, which was pretty awesome. So.
Nice. From Beaver, we go to Frog Brigade Staple up on the roof. Man, you're hearing every little stroke on that hi-hat. That's great. Great recording. They're building to something, Frankie. Is this why you chose it? I knew it.
I chose this timestamp just because it's so sinister and eerie.
Also, the crowd not as loud as I would expect, as far as your positioning and where you were for the recording. So, nice work there on positioning the mics too.
I mean, it was also 3 a.m, so notice they didn't play like Cosmic Highway or something that might have like put people to sleep just because it's a little bit slower. Got to play more upbeat stuff at 3 a.m.
Roof is certainly one of them. Okay, so after Roof, we get to Highball with the Devil, which looks like it's pretty long. So we get Highball for about 6-7 minutes. Then we go into drums. Then we get a Jerry tease. Then we go back into Highball with a Rapper's Delight tease. Jessica Lurie guests on saxophone. Did I get it all?
Yeah, that's all. You got it.
I mean, back then it was either Highball or 2000 Light Years would go into drums and then come back out. So tonight it was Highball.
Well, we should hear a bit of the drums. Then we should certainly hear Jerry. And then we should hear Jessica. It's all the J names. I feel included. Sounds like Mike and Paulo going at it. Nice. Bringing it down. This is one of my favorite parts of a Frog Brigade or any less show where Mike D's involved. Just let him go nuts.
For sure.
So
For sure.
that Claypool Gold, one of the greatest highlights was the Duchess, in which they were all trading a few bars. Paulo, Mike, Brain, and all just letting it rip. So this is a highlight right here for sure. So after 12 minutes of drums, we get a Jerry was a race car driver tease, and it's kind of funny because this tease apparently lasts 4 minutes and 45 seconds. I know it's just somewhere in here, but it's funny that it's 4:45 on your tracking. Let's see if we can hear this tease.
I said it's definitely the first minute or so.
Okay.
Of that track.
We should time it and see if it counts as a tease or a partial or a full.
Staying a tease. We're not changing it now.
Ooh! Paulo was hitting those double kick highlights pretty well there. Nicely done.
I definitely love Frog Brigade doing Jerry.
Yeah, like, it could have been something, but they never went back to it.
Wow.
So I was just looking back. I knew this was near the beginning of Paulo's run. This was only Paulo's fourth show with Claypool.
Fourth show.
I mean, Deadweight sat in the entire Purple Onion tour, but Paulo didn't drum for Frog Brigade until New Year's '02. Wow. And then this was only the third show of the tour, so he's crushing it already.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Wow.
That he's already in lockstep almost with Claypool. Wow. That is impressive.
Yes, that's something that we touched upon earlier on the podcast, that Paulo is very underrated and understated. He serves the songs, but when Les lets him go wild, when he's let loose, he can show you what he's capable of. This show, for instance, or the conclusion of One Better in the live performances, he's definitely an incredible drummer.
Highly dependable, night after night.
Yeah. There was like really good Lights in the Sky outro on this show too, where there's like a 2.5 minute like Paulo drum solo. I mean, that song always had kind of like a drum outro, but this was kind of extended.
I think Frankie's timestamp, that's all right. I think Frankie's timestamp has us sampling that, unless it's like a 32-minute Lights in the Sky, because his timestamp's at 8:40, so hopefully that's around the outro. We'll find out. They give us that Jerry, and then we're back into highball with all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and we're gonna hear a portion of it with Jessica on sax. That's a cool groove. Dang. She's ripping. I don't know Jessica Lurie. What was her affiliation at the time?
I know she was Seattle based at the time. I believe she's New York based now. I don't remember what act she was associated with.
Okay.
But she was like one of Skerrick's friends, was how she was introduced, and I know she sat in a few other times. This wasn't her only time sitting in around that time, like in the mid 2000s. Like maybe she sat in a couple more times.
Okay. As soon as you said Seattle, I knew she was an associate of Skerrick's without questioning.
Okay, so she was at the High Sierra, which I was also at that summer, 7603. And then again in 05. Skerrick adjacent.
That's a good term for it. Wow. Yeah, she's still going, too. She got a big green light. Because if Les lets you go this long or longer, you know you're doing something interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Boy. I guess if you add it all up, the first 7 minutes and then the drums and then the Jerry thing and then this, you've got yourself like 30 minutes all together, I think.
Yeah.
So this is one really long, meandering highball with the devil, we could say.
Yes, for sure. I remember originally I wasn't breaking out drums as a separate track.
Okay.
And like it would just turn into these monstrosities like 28, 35 minutes like between drums and the like song on either side of it. And so I started splitting it up finally. I know I went back and split a lot of them. There might be a couple like stragglers in there.
You were doing a favor to the people who get bored by drum solos for sure.
Yes,
and
yes.
that was, as you probably recall, it was a common complaint in those early Frog Brigade days, or probably throughout the entirety of it, that there's like another drum solo, and then so breaking it out allowed people to skip it if they wanted to, which is very kind of you.
Right.
So this is the longest highball with the devil ever, I guess, if we want to call it that. After that, they give us a fairly straightforward Buzzards of Greenhill, just over 6 minutes.
Yeah, no buzzards
oddly
reprise either.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. I wonder if they thought, well, we just took them places, so maybe we should do a nice compact 6-minute version.
A mainstream rendition. Yeah.
Yes, the radio version.
Cleanse the palate a little bit for what's coming.
There's a lot of people who don't know what just happened to them, so let's bring them back now with a fairly straightforward Buzzards. I always love it when they kick into that backbeat there near the end. Of course, it's always really satisfying.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, we're actually in the chronology of the show. We've skipped a handful of tracks, so we're pretty deep into it. Is it around this time, Toaster? Did you know you were going pretty much all night for that? They weren't kidding around. That you were gonna exit.
I mean, we had an idea.
And
were most people troopers, Toaster? Or
that's a good question.
I remember it still being pretty packed by the end.
Oh.
I have a distinct memory of my foot being like turned weird in the crowd and like kind of being mushed in there, and like my leg throbbing the way home after the show. So if it's enough to make you stand weird for 3 hours straight and you can't get enough room to like really space yourself out, I think it was a full show throughout the night.
I mean, this is the city for it. New Orleans knows how to party, obviously.
Yeah,
it's
for sure
earned that reputation. So these late night sets are nothing for that city. Fantastic that they took advantage of the opportunity. You don't get that opportunity too many places. The next track that they played, it was a huge surprise to somebody who doesn't know this show, I'm sure, and it was a huge surprise to me at the time.
Yeah, I think it came back in 2002, didn't it, with Tim? Yeah.
Had they played it? Okay.
It came back the summer before when Tim was on drums.
It was actually performed at the very first Frog Brigade show at Calveras County.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
With Jack Irons and Herf. They did Intruder.
And then when Tim came back in summer 2002, they started playing it again, and it stuck around through summer 2003, or actually New Year's.
I have a faulty memory of it being quite a rarity, so it was somewhat common in those years.
Yeah, I caught it quite a bit in fall 2002. Looks like I saw it at least like 6 times.
Oh, dang.
Out of the 10 shows I saw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 7 times.
Wow.
7 out of 10. That's not bad. Yeah.
That's a C.
And then I caught it again in Indy at the Vogue, in summer, and Toledo at Headliners, Falls Church, State Theater, and then I've not seen it since. I did
It
not
was
see it
it
in.
was resurrected with Mastodon in 2018.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It started after I only saw the Art Park show in Lewiston, New York, that tour, and it started like a week after that show. So
Dang.
no intruder for me.
Well, let's sample the intruder that you did get to enjoy at Tipitina's. This is why it's 7 minutes and 45 seconds. We get a Mike D solo. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Fascinating to hear this now, because I certainly have heard this portion of this before, but to hear it again, it's pretty fun. Kind of a halting version of it to me. Neat. Frankie, thoughts on Intruder?
What can I say? I mean, anything from miscellaneous debris is always welcome. So that being Intruder, or, you know, for a fleeting moment in 92, they were doing Sinister Exaggerator. That was really cool.
There's a couple like mini tippy toes as well.
Oh, and they did a few seconds of Nigel during some record label party as well in 92.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is so the Residence material is something that kind of disappeared for a while, unless I'm mistaken, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, the only one that really stuck around was Skinny.
Okay, yeah. So because he would at least play a little bit of Skinny with Frogs, right?
And Constantinople was also there for a while.
In the early, like 1990.
In the early days, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Skinny, I saw a standalone version of it with like Fancy Band in 08 maybe. And then obviously with Primus, it's come back over the years. I'm trying to, maybe 17 was the last time I saw it.
That's got to be on Hoffer's list by now.
It's got to happen.
I would hope so. And this intruder in the background sounds great. That must have been a lot of fun. And then from there, 2000 Light Years is next with a whole bunch of teases. And then we get to the crown jewel in the Les Claypool Frog Brigade discography, D's Diner. This one
has like Eric Bolivar comes out and plays like the second half of the song, so it's not even just Paulo on this one.
This one was almost a nightly occurrence, I want to say, around this time in almost any Frog Brigade / fancy era. What I'm interested in this one is it's 14 and a half minutes, which actually sounds short for a D's Diner.
Solid D's from that era.
Okay.
I don't think that's short by any means. The 2000 Light Years was like 22 minutes, and there's like some spacey jam in the middle of it.
Frankie didn't provide a time code for that.
There are some 8-minute versions as well that were pretty recurrent. So I would say that 14 minutes is kind of out there for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was being facetious with my comment, but
you nasty.
This one, I know our pal Double A very much enjoyed making fun of
D's Diner.
He loves his D's Diner. Always
loves his D's Diner.
Anytime they play it, he's down. It did become somewhat of a punchline on the bullboard that there it is, D's Diner once again.
Yeah, there it is.
I do.
Pat,
me.
have you been to D's Diner?
I've been to D's Diner. I went in 02.
Oh wow, way back.
When I was out there for New Year's, I went.
Yeah, you've done all the stuff that we're just catching up with.
Yeah, I did that. I did Del Davis Tree Farm when it was still like
Oh, really?
It was still Del Davis Tree Farm. It wasn't just Davis Tree Farm. And it had the signs were all like the enhanced punch bowl kind
Oh
of.
wow, that's
Right,
amazing. We
yeah.
just drove by the plot of land. That's all we got.
So you never saw it in its original.
No.
And then Cottingtown Ball.
Yeah,
Two of
that's
Oh,
still
geez.
there at least.
Yeah, we gotta hit that one at some point.
I drove by it. I saw the sign. It was kind of like a rotating sign.
Yeah, it's really cool. The sign itself is badass. I've been told it's mostly an old people mall now, which sounds more my speed actually. I'd very much
Yes,
enjoy it, I
yes.
think. Put on my white New Balance and go for a nice walk.
Yeah, we can do some
Yeah,
power
some
walking
power
in there.
walking. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. We'll motor up those stairs. Let's hear a little bit of this here, Dee's Diner. Yeah, at least it's my favorite part. Thanks, Frankie. Sounding good. This one to me is a set closer, or it's always pretty near the end, to my recollection. So, being well over 2 hours in, probably 2.5 hours in at this point, I would think, oh, they're playing D's. It's winding down.
It's winding down. I'm not going to get my tax man. But wait, there's more.
Wait, they're not leaving the stage, right? Yeah, they just finished their compact 14-minute version of D's, and they're not leaving. Something's going on. There's Frankie's cookie, by the way. He doesn't get to eat that until we're finished here, which is he's gonna hurry us along, I bet. And then we got Granny's Little Yard Gnome. Now that one screams rarity in the
Yes.
Frog Brigade era to me. Is that the case?
I remember seeing it a few times in '01.
Okay. Oh, very early. All right.
I saw 5 or 6 shows on that summer '01 tour. And I'm completely misremembering. Hold on. That was Cohibus I saw in '01.
Ah.
So yeah, no, it came out. Was this the first Granny's Little Yard now? Is that correct? I guess my site might be correct. Yeah, I guess this was the first Granny's since Holy Mackerel tour
Wow.
That's amazing.
at Tipitina's. All right. I
Incredible.
guess- look at that. And then it got played regularly through '04, '05, and then it disappeared again.
Wow.
Once in '06, once in '07.
There's that weird Bucket of Bernie Brains version.
Oh yes, there was. Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, you told us about that one, Frankie, back in our Bernie Brains episodes. I do want to hear some of Granny's because it's just one of those little gems from the Holy Mackerel disc that I think deserves more live treatment. And this one, 5.5 minutes. I'm surprised to see. Let's hear a bit of that. That is a fat bass tone. Damn. I love those Scarrick flares. Excellent. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh, interesting. Georgie Porge, unrelated, but
Yeah.
sound checked at this show. Georgie Porge only got played twice in '01 and once in 2000. Did not actually make a set list in '03. It got sound checked a couple times.
Yeah. So that's one of those that they tried and just weren't satisfied with, I imagine.
No,
Ancient,
I saw it in Charlotte, so I did get to see it once.
Nice.
So
Ancient Mariner is another one that was rehearsed but never made it to any show.
Yep.
And that one, to remind our listeners, that's a really old Les song from the 80s, right?
That's the story I heard.
Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, wait. Are you eating your cookie, Frankie? That's not allowed because you're off camera and you're saying amazing.
Yeah, since we're recording for like 4 hours, I couldn't resist any longer.
That's cheating.
Plus, it's a black and white. I mean, you can't resist a black and white cookie.
They are delicious. I'll give it to you. Let's hear the end of Grannies. Why not? That's a fun ending. I
wonder. I've always wondered why Les didn't bring this one back in 2023. It's such a fantastic song.
I would have been all about it. I saw it. I apparently saw it a few times.
Yeah. So. I am curious for you, Toaster, because you have, of course, been to hundreds of shows and caught most, if not all, of the rarities. Is there something you're still chasing after all these years?
Did you like it? Never saw you like it.
Okay.
I decided to take an extended trip last summer, and I skipped the Buffalo show, and they played it there. And I was actually flying back into town that night. And I was like, well, I'm going the next night in Big Flats. They've been playing it this tour. I'll see it then. Yeah. It didn't get played. And then I was like, well, I'll go to Saratoga like a couple days later, and they'll definitely play it then because it's going to hit. Nope. No, you'll like it. So
oh, wow.
It's gone again.
That's the one. All right.
That's one of them. I've never seen Hellbound 17 and a half. That's another one because I skipped I think it was Burlington. They played it on Fromage Tour, and I did not see that.
They didn't play it too much on Fromage, did they?
They didn't.
No,
I think they only played it twice, once or twice. Yeah,
only once. Yeah, only once.
Or was it Maine or was it Burlington? It was one of the two.
I distinctly remember Hellbound being resurrected for the Murat Theater during the 3D tour in 2012.
Okay.
And Les introduced it as a greasy old deep cut.
I'll take a few more of those. They've been bringing them out lately.
I've been lucky. So I've seen quite a bit this tour too.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about Hoffer. I mean, have you been tracking it and listening to footage and all that good stuff?
I went to 4 shows last weekend.
Oh, you went you did a run. All right. Yeah.
I did Lafayette, Burlington, New York, and Bridgeport. So I'm loving the Hoffer. I think he's kind of like a mix of like Jay and Brain. It's kind of how I placed him in my head. And he's not really flubbing too much that I've noticed.
What is it like catching a show at that Apple Orchard, Toaster?
I mean, it's local to me. I mean, local-ish. It's only
Yeah.
like 60 miles or so from
Oh,
me,
nice.
maybe 70. Um, but it's okay. It's an outdoor summer stage in the middle of absolutely nowhere, down the road from Skinny Atlas, New York, which is where Jason Newsted actually has like a summer house. Um,
Oh, funny. Now, do you get to pick
uh,
your own apples while you're there? I know they're not ripe yet, but
I believe they use them for their like ciders and that kind of stuff. I don't know if they sell the apples separately.
oh,
They
okay.
may. I mean, they definitely have quite the orchards.
I'm sure some of the bands that go in there are worried that apples are provided to the crowd, because
Yeah, throwing apples at the crowd. You got a ducking cover.
like this is not good. Yeah. Well, excellent. I'm glad you got to see Hoffer a bunch of times already. I have to wait to Sacramento, but it's going to be worth that wait for sure.
Are you doing both nights?
Both nights, you bet.
Both nights. That's gonna be awesome.
I believe it. So in the background, you can hear lights in the sky from this Tipitina show. 18 minutes.
Rare song.
18 minutes, Frankie. 18
Yeah.
minutes of lights in the sky. You weren't kidding around, Toaster. Gee whiz. So this one, it's getting real late now on the show, and they're playing Lights in the Sky, which is one of his slowest, spaciest numbers ever. I wonder if people were being lulled to sleep at this point.
The knockout punch.
But you you did say it was crowded all the way through, so everybody persevered, I suppose. And
Yeah, that's how I remember it. But maybe they started filing out during lights. I don't know.
I'm going to forward to about halfway through this particular performance because Frankie's got something he wants us to hear. Oh yeah, we are going out to space. Wow, if it's 3:30 in the morning and they're playing this, I'm thinking about filing out or leaning against the wall.
Or your 18-hour drive home.
Yes. Also thinking about, oh man, I gotta stop and get lots of caffeine. A lot of great atmospherics going on, though. I just don't know if that works at 3 in the morning in New Orleans. Clearly, it does. It's a great show. Yeah.
Apparently, that was my third and final time seeing Lights in the Sky.
Wow. Indeed, a rarity.
Yeah.
Wow. It is nice and trippy. And then, Toaster, you said they did something pretty far out near the end of it?
I remember there was like a couple-minute Paulo drum outro. I don't know when that starts exactly.
Huh. Let's see if we can find it here. I'll click around. There's some drums. Frankie is draining his cocoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Was that song?
In the sky, that's what Lights in the Sky will do to me.
Ah, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
I like that idea there on the back end. Man, there's still another minute and a half. They're really dragging this one out. Wow. 18 minutes of Lights in the Sky. Holy smokes. So at this point, it's about, 4 a.m. And you're probably thinking, not going to get that text, man. No way.
Not gonna get it. Not gonna get it.
Mere moments after Lights in the Sky concludes, it happens. I don't know how soon it happens here, because this is still Lights going into Taxman. All right. There it
Pick
is.
you right back up. You're wide awake again.
It's a dance party all of a sudden at 4 a.m. Yeah, so you got your Taxman. Everybody's probably, up and at it at that point. This is a 15-minute Taxman, by the way. I will say, this was one of my...
they usually were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually were pretty long. I think there's actually like 3 or 4 minutes of like crowd noise at the end of that. But
Okay. I do recall really liking the Taxman renditions from this time period, and they all were pretty long and jammed out. I have a faint recollection of Rap Brigade Taxman. Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
Okay.
They did a Rap Brigade one.
Okay. I remember really liking that version because I even showed it to my dad. I was like, this is, because he's a big Beatles fan. I was like, here's what one of my favorite guys is doing with this. And he's like, oh, he actually kind of liked how they jammed it out, which I was surprised by. So I won some points that day. Frankie wants us to listen to a portion of it about halfway through. So we'll see if we can find that quick. There it is. I had to come back too because I was just going to let that play and zone out on it and enjoy the hell out of it.
Few years ago, during the pandemic, somebody posted 2 really fantastic videos at the Great American Music Hall, Tela Gunginjit and Taxman, and I think they were recording from the balcony because of the perspective, but the quality is superb. If you haven't checked those out, dear listeners, you should go to YouTube and look out for Frog Brigade, Great American Music Hall, Taxman. Incredible video.
What year would that have been? Kind of.
Let me see if I can bring it up right now. It's when it's back. I think it's 2000, like when they were doing Animals in its entirety, and Les was wearing like his Colonel outfit with the helmet.
That's the Live Frogs era or
exactly.
shows.
Is one of the songs that didn't make it to the official CDs.
Yeah.
It was uploaded only 2 years ago by Digiteal, and it's a 13.5-minute rendition of Taxman, and it's just fantastic. You need to check that out.
Go now.
Pat, Toaster, sorry, I just blew your cover. Did you happen to catch one of those ultra rare delicate tendrils back in 2005?
I did. I saw Providence. I think it was New Jersey and Providence. Am I right?
I'm
Lupo's?
Speechless.
Not Lupo's. It was it Lupo's? It is Lupo's, but Lupo's moved. It wasn't the same Lupo's as O2. But yes, I was there. And it only was those 2 shows. And the rumor is, at least from what I remember back at those shows, there was a Henry Rollins poster because he was playing like the Starland Ballroom like shortly after like the Frog Brigade was there. And somehow that spawned the Delicate Tendrils being played. Who knows if that's the actual reason, but that's what I've heard.
I think
that's what I heard back then.
Yeah, I think that's what Frankie brought to the pod for that one because I recall that story now.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's factual.
That's what I remember hearing, and I was there. So.
Hey, there you go. It's not apocryphal. There was a poster. So you got a really nice lengthy Taxman there, and that checked a box for you. And they left everybody floored, I'm sure, with a Wamola encore and sent you out into the very early morning sunshine. And some
Very,
people had to.
very muggy morning.
Oh, yes,
Right.
of course. It's in the bayou. Yeah.
Yes.
And some people got in a car and drove 18 hours home. Now, I do want to just reiterate for the people listening, of course, the wonderful listeners of ours, that we just give you guys a taste. It's up to you to go listen to the entire
Go
show.
hunt the mammoth.
So I hope these choices of Frankie's were wild and woolly enough to make a mammoth for you, and that you'll seek out the Tipitina's recording. And so, Toaster, of course, if you see a spike in traffic and a corresponding spike in your bill, send it to Frankie.
My internet hosting is unlimited bandwidth, so feel free to stream the heck out of it. I'm grandfathered into some hosting plan from 20 years ago.
That is
so
key.
You do your worst as far as streaming. It's not going to hurt me. It looks like I've streamed 136 gig this month.
Wow.
Which is pretty incredible considering it's like MP3 and M4A, I think, are the two formats I have on there for streaming purposes. So that's a lot of streaming.
That's thousands and thousands and thousands of minutes of streaming, right? Wow. Good choice, Frankie, by the way, this Tipitina show. I think it's one that I need to revisit, having only heard portions.
I'm going to cheat a little because this is usually an exclusive question that we have for our bonus pod, but the curiosity is killing me. So, Toaster, who takes second place to your Primus and Les Claypool obsession?
Oh.
I mean, I've seen Fish probably 30 or 40 times. I've seen Tool 20 or 30 times. I saw Slayer probably 20 times. I have a lot of 20 and 30s.
You're a Metallica guy as well, right?
No, not really. I've seen them a couple times, but no, not hardcore at all. I've seen the Melvins probably 15, 20 times. It's probably Fish or something Trey adjacent, like all his projects. Like I didn't see Fish until 09, but I saw Trey solo starting in like 01 or 02. I saw him quite a few times as he came through. I was kind of like, I can't start going to see Fish because it'll take away from seeing less. Like I'll know I'll get sucked in kind of thing. That was kind of like in the back of my brain. Like I can't go see them because I know I'll hit them like repeatedly.
That's funny. You weren't even dodgy on it. You just knew it was going to happen.
I just kind of had that feeling. I like knew a bunch of like Fish heads from, well, my sister is a Fish head. She was trying to get me to go see them. I had a ticket to a 99 show and didn't end up going. And then Oysterhead kind of brought it all together. The rest is history as far as that's concerned.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is an incredible fan to talk to. My respect to Toaster.
Any plans for New Year's 25, 26? Do you already have a flight booked, no matter what?
Oh, no, I have to see what's getting announced.
Gotcha.
So the funny thing about last year, as soon as the alternate show got announced, I booked my flight that day. I was
really?
It's too good. Like it was like that day or the next day I booked it. Like everybody I was talking to knew it was going to be something special. Not seeing that for me.
Yeah.
I was at work and I got a message from Josh and I just picked up my cell phone without actually opening the conversation, but I saw Beanpole written in capital letters and I started checking flights. Yeah.
Do you get in trouble for looking at your phone at work, Frankie? Do they slap your hands or anything?
I explained that it's something urgent, and they know that it's Primus related.
They know that at work. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
And then Toaster, when you go on the road for these extended Primus sessions and that sort of thing, do they know? Like your boss gets it?
My boss knows. I mean, I've had the same boss for 20 years now, so he's well aware.
You just hand him like when the tour announcement comes, you just send him the link and
send him the time off for him. Yeah, I need these 3 days off. Then the next week I need like 2 more. Like however it lines up.
You're in the Pentagon, right, Toaster? That's what I got from our conversation on New Year's Eve.
Not quite the Pentagon, but
He's not allowed to talk about it, Frank.
not allowed to talk about it.
Thanks for joining us, Toaster, and thanks for sharing your experience, your Tipitina's experience with us.
And thanks once again, Toaster, for everything you have contributed to our community. It's really invaluable. We wouldn't be able to talk about all these statistics and sample all these live performances if it weren't for Toasterland.
That's for sure.
It's definitely one of the pillars of our fandom and our knowledge.
Yeah.
I am glad that everybody enjoys it as much as I labored through making it, but now that it's there, it kind of runs itself. If there's anybody who knows how to code and wants to redo any part of it for me, that'd be great. I know the media player part of it's kind of weak. That's as good as I can do. But yeah, now that I know people have grown up on it, and it's kind of taken on its own like status in internet lore, which is kind of neat. So I'm glad everybody's using it to its full potential.
Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio.